My Uncle Ed is the one pushing the lawnmower there. He was probably at that time maybe 19 or 20 years old. And a grand guy. He was like a brother to me. And here's my great old grandfather. That's Chris Franzen, the cement and brick contractor. And laying out in the yard, which is one of his favorite pastimes. Laying in the grass, just resting because he worked hard. He worked 12-hour days, and at least early in my life he was still working 12-hour days, but at the time I was 12 years old and started working for him, they were 8-hour days then. But they were hard because it was all day long he was wrestling cement blocks and bricks and mortar. He had his own business, but he worked right along with everybody else. You want to move now?
Yeah, I'm going to move back because I just realized that being that close isn't giving me any advantage because it's not letting me focus that tight.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to focus.
And so I can be this far back and get just as tight with the same focus. So,
well, you want to get this
one? I just want to get all of them. So you just...
Well, no, I don't want them all because some of these people I don't even know. They're Ed's friends. This guy, these two guys are Ed's friends. I don't know them. And that's another picture of Ed, but you got these, so that is necessary. This is my dad. I'd like to get that. And this is my mom, but that print's so light you won't be able to see a feature in it.
It's blown out.
And that's Ed again. But this one might be different. And this is my Uncle John and Cousin Elm.
You're going too fast for me.
Oh, well, I just wanted to know.
I'm still up on your mom.
Oh, you're shooting pictures, huh? All right, what are you on now?
I'm on your mom at the very top.
Oh, no, I don't think you're going to get anything there.
Well, you're going to be surprised,
well,
I think.
Maybe so, but there's nothing on the film. It's
no, but, I mean...
underexposed.
But whose house is that?
I have no idea.
Not yours?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I couldn't
Is she
tell you.
dressed up for church or for something like that?
No, she's, I think that, she might be. She's dressed up, I would say, so I don't know, for going out somewhere, gallivanting around.
You can see the shadow of whoever took the picture.
Yeah, you can.
The bottom?
Just the hat on the bottom, yeah.
I just noticed that.
And
the one next to it?
That's Ed again. Uncle Ed.
Okay.
And then
and
the other two I don't know at all. And then Ed is...
Well, tell us what they might have been doing.
Just hanging around over at our house. That's the barn behind the house. They're leaning against the garage door.
So were they out shooting or something?
Well, it looks like he's got a rifle in his hand, yeah. Yeah, they probably were. We had a great big pasture back at the house, which I talked about at another time. And it was immense. So we did some shooting there. Even though it was in the city, it was almost like in the country. It was so big, and there was hardly anybody in there.
And they're both smoking.
Probably are. I don't know.
Probably not unusual.
No. Wasn't unusual.
Well, speaking of usual and unusual, was their outfits, what they're wearing there, is that pretty normal every day?
That was typical for the area, for the era. Caps were very popular, but so were the other hats. I think this is Ed here.
The bottom one?
Yeah, the bottom one on the left. Or not the bottom, but the second bottom one right here.
With the same guy that's holding the gun.
Yeah. Yeah, the same
so
guy.
Maybe Ed was taking the picture on the first one, and then
that's probably it.
The other guy's taking the picture on this one.
I would imagine something like that. And then down here, are you here yet?
Well, I didn't get the baseball guy.
Oh.
Now
well, that's it.
I'm on the baseball guy.
That's it.
Is that his uniform when he was playing for that?
Yeah, he was a pitcher for one of the local teams there. They were amateur teams, but they had a league and everything else, and they had uniforms and everything. They were next door to professional, I guess. But he never played professional ball, but he was a good pitcher. They won a lot of games.
And then down at the very bottom was
that's Uncle John. Pipe. That's my mother's oldest brother, Uncle John, right down here. And the little guy half off the picture is my cousin Elmer. And they're sitting on the front porch at our home up on 1101 West 13th Street. just relaxing.
Now he's got just a regular striped shirt on.
Yeah, that's one thing about shirts.
Looks unusual for that era.
Well, the shirts back in those days usually came without a collar on. They came with a band, and you fastened a collar to them with a place in the back of your neck and here, and so he's got the collar or the shirt on without the collar there, and he's got the top turned in apparently.
Yeah.
Which was common practice, and you didn't wear the collar.
That's interesting. Okay, and those two on the top right there.
Well, one is Ed again. That's a bad picture, but that's him sitting on the front porch. Most of those were shot just about the same era, I guess. And then the one on the right, that's my dad. It's before he went into the war, so it's probably he's 25 or 26 years old there.
You really did look like him.
Huh?
I said you really did look like him.
Yeah.
If you didn't know better, you could almost say that was you.
I suppose.
And that's your front porch that Ed's sitting on?
Grandma's front porch.
Okay.
The same place. When I say the old homestead, I'm speaking of a place at 1101 West 13th Street. But they bought, Grandma and Grandpa bought it in 1900 and raised their family there, and not only theirs, but their kids' families were raised there. It was a great old place. It's passed out of the family finally after Uncle Ed died about 5 years ago, and they sold the place. But so it was in the family's domain for the better part of a century. You got what you want?
Yep.
All right.
Should we do this one too? Oh, that's a picture pretty much the same as before. There's a good picture of a car though. Why don't you throw that one on there?
All right.
Before you start talking about
All right.
it.
Well, let's see. Those are
You want to-
Ray Otto and Elmer Jansen. Those are two of Ed's brothers, buddies, and Frank and me.
Okay.
But this one, you already have that, don't you?
Yeah, but your hand, move your hand a little bit and get on that one. Say who that is again?
Down here?
Yeah.
Well, these are two of Ed's friends, and I knew them quite well as a kid, and because they were over at the house often. That's Elmer Jansen on the left, and Ray Otto on the right. They lived about a block and a half away from where we did. And the kids there, I'm on the left and Frank is on the right.
Oh, you're the kids in there. Is that your house in the background by any chance?
No, that's
or-
the neighbor's house. Our house was on the left outside of the picture.
Okay. Which one do you want to talk about next?
Well, this one we got.
Yeah. Do you want to do that one in the
well,
car?
We can do that one on the car.
Okay.
You want me to move it, or is it all right?
No, it's fine. You can just talk about it.
Well, let me take a time out, because I got to see who's in it.
Oh.
I don't know.
You can pull it off if you want to get closer.
I think it's
Close
Elman
enough.
Al and me.
Well, if you don't know who it is, then you can just talk about the car.
Yeah, well, the car, it's a Ford, a Model T Ford, probably about a 23 variety or something in there. It was a touring car, and it belonged to my stepdad. And that was his and the family's mode of transportation. And this particular picture was taken with Elm on the left there, and Al down in front, and me on the right. And this had to be about 1927, 28, somewhere in there. And that, well, I can't think of anything else to say there.
That's fine. How about that other one underneath the one we've already got?
That is this one?
Yeah,
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, that is Elm, my cousin, Elm and Al lived just a block away from Grandma and Gramps' place, and a good many of those years we lived at Gramps' place, and so we were buddies besides cousins. And there again is Marion on the right, and in the middle it's Catherine on the right and Marion in the middle. And those are my neighbor buddies when I was a little kid.
Now, are we looking down the street? Are they on the sidewalk and we're looking down the street?
Yeah, what you are, you're looking north on Myrtle Street. The house is on the southwest corner of 13th and Myrtle. And that's Myrtle going off in the distance there.
That's great.
I was born halfway up the street there on Myrtle Street. The house doesn't show in this picture. A half a block up the street is what I mean to say.
Great. Those are good ones.
Are they good ones?